Okay, Saturday is the big, big day. Okay, so the nodes on the moon, the north node and the south node, are shifting signs. And there's a lot to that, but basically, like what it comes down to for me is that it's an 18-month period while we're in those different signs that creates a shift in consciousness. It creates renewed focus and dedication. Um, the last time we were here was in '06 to '07. And there were a lot of interesting political little wars going on, like the Iraqi Civil War. Okay, it's not little, but the Iraqi Civil War. There were Lebanese protests opposing the US and Saudi backed government. Um, and there was a big drought in the US. There was also a transfer of power from Fidel Castro to Raul Castro, which was, historically a pretty big thing. Okay. But the time before that, when we were in North Node Pisces, South Node Virgo, was 1987 to 1989. Now, I know some of you weren't alive, but that was a huge paradigm shift period. We had the fall of the Soviet Union. We had the fall of the Berlin Wall, rather. We had the Eastern Bloc of Europe dissolving. We had the Iran-Contra affair, where the US was really called on the carpet for doing stuff. There was the founding of Al-Qaeda. The first NASA scientist testified to Congress that global warming had begun. The first optical fiber transatlantic phone cable was completed. The first computer worm distributed by the internet. First World's AIDS Day, AZT was approved. The first woman to head an Islam-dominated state was in 1988. And the first proper and official internet connection between North America and Europe was made. And there was something else. Oh, the first commercial internet service providers were surfacing in, I think it was '89. The first written proposal for the World Wide Web, and the first connections for internet connections in New Zealand, Japan, and Australia. And also the first babies born after pre-implantation genetic diagnosis were conceived. So that's a paradigm shift. I've been talking about this paradigm shift, and really, those are things that went on to change our daily lives. Think about if you didn't have internet. Think about if we hadn't acknowledged AIDS and created medicine for it. Think about if the Eastern Bloc still exists. Think about like if the USSR still existed. And I realize like Putin is trying to put it back together, but whatever. Like for those of you who were not alive when this shit happened, it was huge. Like I walked around for 2 days when the Berlin Wall fell going, I don't understand. My world has just completely turned upside down. These are all, and the internet, again, I'm going to talk about it. It was a big paradigm shift. And so the second to the last time that we were in this energy was the most recent paradigm shift. And I say again that we are in the process of moving from a capitalistic, patriarchal, slavery-based society into a place where human beings are valued for who they are, not what they produce, where every human being is understood to be equally deserving of love, honor, and respect. And that's an even bigger shift than '87 to '89. And just the fact that we've got mirrored astrological energy going on right now with Pluto, in Aquarius, with a bunch of other stuff going on. It's a really, really fascinating time. And so, I've been saying in my re-empowerment classes that we're going to really start to see tangible shift. And with the nodes shifting, I think that's absolutely going to come up. Um, so we're going to be starting to really shed and purify stuff that doesn't serve us anymore. We get to renew our focus and our dedication. We get to have new, like, creativity, imagination, faith. Because again, the North Node is going into Pisces, and those are all Pisces themes. Um, and so, if you were alive during 87 to 89, what personal threads from your life can you pull that might be mirroring stuff that's going on for you right now? What threads can you pull from your life from 06 to 08? And kind of take a look at that. They're 18-month cycles. So, feel through that and see what that brings up for you. It might be a good journaling exercise.